Okay, Matt, Toasty, thanks very much for joining us on this interview. Welcome to the club, Matt.
Thank you.
Basically, we do these interviews, as Toasty knows, because we had a bit of turmoil at the beginning of the season where we had a large amount of squad rotation, so a lot of the players that the fans are used to seeing historically aren't all here anymore. So this is just an ideal opportunity for fans who aren't necessarily on social media or don't get the chance to speak to you after games or on the coach, just to put a name to a face and hear a little bit about you as well.
Yeah.
They've seen plenty of Toasty in the past anyway, haven't they? So just a bit about you, a bit about what clubs you've played for in the past and what led you to come here.
Well, a cooker led me to come here, to be fair. A nice range master. No, jokes aside, yeah, I've been about a bit now. Started off playing sort of pub football. Thetford Rovers, biggest achievement today, winning the Anglican Division 4 at Halvergate, I think we won that. that was the early days. And then, Thetford, sort of played there, starting off like playing half decent level of football. And then Wroxham, went Wroxham. Scored a few there. First club in the Ryman at the time, promotion stuff. Then where'd I go? Norwich United, 120 goals, 120 games. Then had a move to Leiston, scored a few in my first season there, won a Golden Boot Ryman.
So would that be step three?
Step three. I was there a few years, and then Stowmarket, and then Ipswich Wanderers. Just I'm trying to think where I've been now.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know you, you do have quite a good social media presence. So there's a lot of your history on there, isn't there?
I don't really like talking about myself, but I do on Twitter.
Well, we'll make this interview brief then. So, what made you want to join this club?
It's the cooker.
For the cooker.
Yeah, the range master.
We'll talk about footballing then, wise. What was there a challenge that Dereham presented you with that you thought you?
Well, I had to join because Toasty sending me a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bebo, MSN, MySpace.
MySpace was the one, wasn't it? Honestly, we tried everything. I was in a casino in Vegas, and obviously not in a casino because I'm on a school trip. But I think MySpace we hooked up.
Yeah, it might have been the one. Yeah, no, but I had to sign because he's doing me head in.
Well, for our older fans, he didn't break into another language. There were social media platforms he was listing.
Yeah. No, but it's a short-term goal, really. You know, I'm coming in. I don't know anybody. This is the first time I've met Gaffer. You know what I mean? And it's a great opportunity to get us out of the relegation and a little semi-final in the cup, potential final. You know.
Does the Carrow Road prospect is that something that appeals to you?
Absolutely. I've played in the Suffolk Premier final and won that, and I actually got beat by Dereham with Norwich United at Carrow Road, so I thought I'd better sign to Dereham and win it anyway.
Yeah. So, Toasty, one for you. Obviously, Matt comes with a reputation of being someone who scores a lot of goals, a good goal scorer, proven every club he's been to. Yeah. He's consistently scored goals everywhere he's been at multiple levels, like he says. So what is the significance for you to sign someone like Matt at this stage of the season as well?
I think just what we've been banging on about all year. I think a little bit of experience mixed with somebody that knocks in 30 plus goals wherever he goes, and that's no disrespect to the people that we've got, but we've got.
We've only got 9 games.
Yeah. And sorry, I was just going off your last record, mate. You're on. And I was, I just think it was a right fit. So if you look at how our team functions, we've got Jono, Swifty, Clarkey, Coops. Obviously, we've had people that have come and gone like Mo, etc., who are good creative players. They chip in with like 15, 20 goals and they assist a lot of goals, but we haven't really got that talisman, go get in the box and then tweet about it, which I love. And I just thought, you know what, it was like a match made in heaven. I'll have a bit of steak. Yeah. There I was in Vegas, into mistake, and I thought, you know what?
Yeah, you saw your little 2-second micro film you made of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it was, like I said, for Blakey, I think there was a bit in me where I thought, you know what, if I can sort of, people might think he's done, And if I can try and get hold of him and think that he ain't done, and he's got, like I said, a semi-final, and he's got that where he can keep the team up, and he's going to probably go from 60,000 engagements to maybe 90. He might go for it, and then for us, just a little bit of experience, someone who's been there and done it, and I think it's a win-win for both parties.
Yeah, so your debut obviously must have gone really well for you. You must have felt it went really well for you, scoring 2 goals on your debut, and winning a penalty as well. And
talk about that.
Well, you won it, but and generally being a nuisance. There was some big, strong, and fast centre halves at Loughborough, wasn't there? And from what the fans noticed was how they were constantly under pressure. Historically and throughout this season, when we haven't had the staff up front to put players like that under pressure, there's been quick turnover, which puts pressure on defence and midfield, but that pressure seemed to be off us a little bit. So with all that in mind, in your words, how do you feel your debut went?
Really well. Like I said, I'd been playing at a level, not a great level with this, in all honesty, and I had to really snap out of things from the warm-up. I was just saying to the gaffer out there, like, I felt straight away how quick the ball was moving in the warm-up and stuff, and I thought to myself, I got to get used to this real quick, because it's not the same at other levels. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really switched me on early doors and made me get really tuned into the game, and I felt that's probably why I scored 2 in 20 minutes, because I was completely on it and focused on putting the ball in the net.
So are you expecting a similar challenge or a bigger challenge today? Because Hales Owen obviously a lot higher up the league than Loughborough were. At this stage of the season, I've said before to other players that Loughborough was the sort of team I'd want to play at this stage of the season, because they don't necessarily have, being 11th, they're not going to go up, they're not going to go down, sort of thing. It's probably an ideal grounding for you, isn't it, to play a team like that. But today we're playing Hales Owen, who are an outstanding side, who've got massive infrastructure, huge fan base. Are you anticipating a greater challenge today, albeit that we're at home?
Yeah and no, but I don't really focus too much on the opposition. Okay. I like to, tell myself and tell the people around me, it's always about what we do. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't care less about the opposition. I like to know who I'm playing, what they're good at a little bit and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's down to us. If we've got some really good ballers in that side, and I figured that out early. Do you know what I mean? And if people are on it, and people graft and work hard and be positive, we can win the majority of the games. But let's see.
Do you put a lot of importance into the momentum that we've got, because we've had a couple of wins on the bounce now against Thetford that you weren't involved with, and then Loughborough, so two really good wins against top opposition on the bounce. Is momentum? Are you feeling that sort of momentum throughout the dressing room?
Absolutely, and I that's key in a dressing room. You know what I mean? And I've been lucky enough to win a lot more than I've lost games. Yeah, and I understand that when you're winning consistently, week in, week out, it's hard to lose. Yeah. When everyone's tuned in and everyone's on the right page, it's hard to lose. And I think if we can, win today, they're not in a great run of form either. We can win today, and then, that pushes us on lovely for the rest of the season. Do you know what I mean?
Because fixtures almost work in our favour a little bit after this, whereas a lot of the teams around us will have to drop points because they're playing against each other. Yeah,
that's it.
So, talking about the dressing room, we touched on it a little bit. You mentioned that we've got some good players, some good footballers in the side. We pride ourselves on being a very accepting community club. Everyone should be made to feel welcome. How have you been? How have you integrated into the squad? And
it's different for me because, I know a lot of people in non-league and stuff like that. And if I've shipped on and I've gone to other clubs and stuff, it's because I know people there, and I know 4 or 5 of the guys or whatever, or the coaches or the gaffer or whatever. But coming here, I don't know anybody. Yeah. I've never met nobody. I don't know any names on the team sheet. This is the first time today meeting the gaffer, and I think it's what I need. But it's good because it's always good to meet new people.
Yeah, and you've been made to feel welcome, hopefully.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
Well.
Yeah, of course I have.
I don't think any of the other people he's played with have got him a cooker like that.
No one's bought me a Range. I've been offered patios and cars, Astras, but not a cooker, not a Range Master. Right.
Well, I did say to Toasty at the beginning of the season, if you sign someone like Matt Blake, is what I say, I use as an example. I've got a classic old car that's not getting used at the moment, so you can chuck that into the deal.
I like my Astra, mate, with the duct tape on the bonnet, mate. I like that.
Well, we've got plenty of duct tape in the cleaner's cupboard if you ever need any.
It's got to be silver, though.
Also electrical tape?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For you, Toasty, we're obviously getting Hales Owen here today, and there's been a lot of managerial changes in our league very recently. Spalding, St Neots, who and Hales Owen, who are coming here, you'd think, what a strange time in the season to have
I
a
have to
man.
check my emails from Las Vegas to check I ain't got the bullet as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm still in a job.
I'll let you know. But what's your view on that sort of thing? As a manager, this is the sort of time when you've really got something to play for this season, be it at the bottom or the top of the league. What's your views on that? Surely it's counterproductive to lose a manager at this stage. And equally, how would you feel as a player if you had something to fight for and then the leaders gets taken away?
I just feel like I don't know, like surely it's like when you have a family or you're in a relationship. If something goes wrong, do you just throw the towel in? Yeah. I think you should all be accountable and be able to work out. You know, if you lose 3 games, well, it's not the end of the world. Like, you work it out. If you look at the history of football, every dog has their day. You can't be arrogant and think you're the best team. Like, you've got to work through your problems. Yeah. So I feel for the people that have lost their jobs. I've spoken to some of the people that have lost their jobs this week, and I feel a little bit for them. And but that is football.
I think the question really is: do you believe that being a settled club like we are, both of you, this is a question for? Do you feel that being a settled club at the moment, without having whole-scale changes apart from strengthening the squad, do you think that puts us in a much better position than the teams around us?
I think it's about understanding where you are at as a football club at that time, and you've all got to be on the. It sounds like a cliche. Everybody's got to be on the same, and they're going in the same direction. If one person ain't, you're all in trouble. So. Yeah. That's one of them. And being calm, not being too up when you win, not being too down when you lose. And like what you said, it becomes a habit. If you do all the right things, it becomes a habit. We've got a really young team. Our team from the start of the year is now completely changed, which we knew it would. So it's about a little bit of patience. But Saturday's a great marker of where we've come, and hopefully we can carry that on.
So we'll look a bit further ahead than this game then. We talked about this game coming up. The run-in towards the end of the season then. So I know you've been asked in previous interviews if you had to choose one, would it be the league or cup? And I know what your answer is. You'd say you want them both.
It's just, for me, it's like the worst question ever.
Yeah, so I won't ask that one. But so, how do you view the run-in? We've got to play some strong sides. We've also got a lot of teams who are around us in the league who we've got to play. I know you've got, there are areas you've identified, teams that are already relegated. These should be guaranteed 3 points and things like that. But how do you see the run-in compared to the other teams running?
I look at it like every game, like you just take every game as it comes, because I could tell you a game, we went away to Stamford and drew 1-1, and one of our best performances. We also went away to Gresley on, they'd admit their pitch is like a cow field. I thought we had one of our best performances and we lost 1-0. They had one shot which hit his shin, hit Nasser, hit the roof of the net, and everyone would go, they lost, and that was one of our best performances. So I think you can't look at it, you can't plan where you're going to win games in this league. It don't work. So I think, again, it's the old cliche, it's game by game. If we do what we're going to do right, we'll win games. We've got good players.
And the fans definitely agree with that. I said in the last interview to Charlie and Louis that it's very rare that fans' aspirations and players are aligned. Players always want to be better, don't they? And they always want to, if you ask some players where we are now, we can still make mid-table, that sort of thing, whereas there seems to be quite a realistic approach. So we're not being deluded. We're not making false promises to supporters. There's quite a realistic atmosphere around that. And the goal is obviously to stay as a Step 4 club and to win the cup. That would be ideal. So is that something you consciously do, or is that a realistic approach you look at?
I don't see the point of turning up in your Astra if you're going to want to lose. Yeah. I think it's that simple. Like, as I would imagine every other manager in this level or above or wherever, you lose a game, you go home and you don't sleep, you end up probably shoveling a load down you to cope with the animosity of what's going on in your head, and then you don't get the sleep because it bothers you in the week. So your Saturdays, and I know it's a game of football, but the results are everything while you do it.
I can't be seen in Weatherspoons if I've lost.
No. And is the famous Astra here today, is it?
Yeah, it's in the car park, yeah.
Excellent.
Go see the tape.
That's how you'll spot it, is it?
Yeah. What I would say is the club and the players deserve a lot of credit for the travelling they've done in this division, the hand that they were dealt, and we're doing everything that we can, and it is about both boxes. Yeah. And I think the players that we got are young, but they've people who are 18 have now got 30 plus games in this level, so they've actually got a little bit of experience. So there's no more excuses. We just got to come together and smash it. Really,
I'm shocked we are down here because like, I was just saying to Toasty out there, like, you know, from the warm up the other day, we looked sharp as, and you know, I played the first half and I'm thinking, Christ, like, why are we here? Why are we in the relegation? Like, but it's just there's an element of bad luck as well, like he's touched on. So you know, we could going forward. I'm happy that we could actually pull out of this.
Well, the areas that you've identified, such as centre forward and some of the full back positions, were areas that the supporters were talking about that we need to look at to be a much stronger side. So the signings you brought in, including Matt, have obviously, based on the last game, strengthened us immeasurably. Really, we do look a sharper, stronger side. We certainly did against Loughborough.
Yeah, that's all great, but I've just got a real big bank problem with Curry's PC world now on cooking. It's monthly and it's just killing me really. But if he keeps us up, then it's worth it, isn't it? Up for Curry's.
It is. And so, just finally, congratulations, Matt. I forgot to say at the beginning on the man of the match. So you'll get presented with a bottle of wine today after the game by the supporter that selected you.
I'd rather have 24 Guinness.
I've already been to the shop, so you.
No, you're good. Thanks, mate.
They do a good Guinness, don't
Do
they?
they? No, lovely,
Yeah.
lovely.
I don't drink.
And hopefully you enjoyed the cocktail party that was put on the coach on the way home.
Like I said, I woke up Sunday extremely dry.
Well, excellent. Then we did our job.
Yeah.
So finally, before we wrap up, is there a message that you want to give to the fans?
I say the same thing everywhere I go. I believe no man is more important than the 12th man in my eyes. You know, fans are everything to non-league football clubs, and I just think with us being in this position, I think we need zero negative and just all positive come from the sideline, because you know some fans probably don't realise how much of an impact it has if they are positive. Do you know what I'm saying? And so just be positive all the way, win, lose or draw, and let's see if we can pull out and we'll go win the cup final if we get through Wroxham. Let's see.
Outstanding. Tosie, anything you want to say to the fans quickly?
No.
Just to echo what Matt said?
No, just have it. Let's go. Let's go.
Both of you, thank you very much for doing this.
Bottom, mate, no worries.
Cheers.
Nice one.
Cheers.